Righty. Oh my goodness. So, making certain we're on everywhere. So, there I am standing up. So that's there.
Yes.
All right, that works. We're on YouTube. Hello, everyone. Hey, guys.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, Axel. Hey, Herman. Hola. All right. So they're right there. Hopefully that'll pop up over here. Hopefully that's popping up on the restream chat. If we don't have the chat show up, hopefully it'll refresh in a bit. If not, you know, they're, hello everyone, hello. Yep, it's popping up.
There we go.
Fantastic. So it seems we're live there. I'm going to check on Facebook to make certain we're there. Oh boy. The chores of, you know, streaming on multiple platforms. Make sure they're all there.
Fine.
So
Always.
it looks like, yes, we're live on Facebook. Hello, everyone. Hi, guys. So we have brought back Spirited Science, and we're live from NOLA. So we have Monty from Hannibal and Monty's shit show. They have like curse words in there and everything.
We do.
So
we do.
they swear a lot on that show, guys.
A lot.
We have Andy from Sunday Science.
How's it going?
And we have me, and this is my channel. So there you go. So we are back with Spirited Science live from New Orleans. And we went and visited the Pharmacy Museum. Live on YouTube. Yay! You've been to the Pharmacy Museum. Yes. Isn't it awesome? There's so many amazing and weird things there. So we're going to talk about some of that. We're also going to touch on some of the folklore associated with that. Now, it is very windy and super freaking cold outside. So if you're wondering, why are we in this particular place? Well, this is where I'm actually staying right now. And there's a wedding going on just right outside. And so we were going to have a different venue to stream, but unfortunately, they'd be bumping pretty loud.
Yes.
Pretty loudly outside. I think
I'm thinking about crashing that party later.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think we probably could. You know,
I think that might have to happen.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we probably crashed that party. So it is. And so what I thought we could do is bring back Spirited Science. So let's go ahead. I'm going to jump over here and do our intro and get started. Whee! I'm having to navigate to my laptop, which is way over there. So if I'm doing this, it's like, too bad we're not like live in 3D.
I know. You should work on having 3D streams.
3D streams would be awesome. Oh my gosh. Can you guys imagine 3D streams? Like ScientistMel coming right at you. You can almost touch me. Then I can throw this king cake at you. There was a product placement.
Yes.
Is it Rouse's or
Rouse's?
I've never been to that supermarket, but we got king cake, guys, and it's cinnamon. Apparently, they mark what kind of cake it is. Cinnamon king cake. There's a baby in here. So, if you're not familiar with Mardi Gras, that's the thing that happens here.
Yeah. If you're not familiar with Mardi Gras, what are you doing? Come to New Orleans for Mardi Gras.
Funny thing.
King cake is the best thing in the world.
Did you know, Monty, that Mardi Gras originated in Memphis, Tennessee?
Did it?
It did.
I did not know that.
It started in Memphis, Tennessee, and they had to move it to New Orleans because of the yellow fever epidemic.
Oh, wow.
because Memphis was like such a huge like industrial city for trade. And so because it got so bad, they're like, yeah, we can't party in Memphis anymore, so let's go south. Way south. Yes. Away from the yellow fever and party there. Let all them people in Memphis die. It's okay.
Yes. We have perfected the partying and drinking here, so.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, so.
We're professionals.
So I have King's Cake. Is it King's Cake or King Cake?
King Cake.
King Cake. And it's all one word on here, apparently.
Yeah.
Is it one? Okay.
No.
It's not supposed to be. Okay.
No, it's not.
All right.
That's Rouse's. But, that's a Rouse's cake is kind of, mid-level. Like, that's good enough.
Yeah.
There's some better places.
Pissed off somebody. Said, hi, Monty. Didn't know that, Mel. Yeah. If you ever go by Memphis, you can go check out their museum there. They have actual invitations and newspaper print of Mardi Gras happening in Memphis, Tennessee.
I have seen those.
Prior to it being moved to New Orleans, there's a whole section on yellow fever, and it's horrible.
Oh, wow.
There's a ornamental metal museum in Memphis. There's rumored to be haunted. And we're going to talk a bit about some of the stuff associated with folklore in New Orleans with the Pharmacy Museum. That actually used to be the hospital where all of the people with yellow fever would go to die.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so nurses and doctors died with them. It's pretty horrible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, the Pharmacy Museum. So, Andy and I went there today to get a little bit of research about that because there's a whole lot of stuff. You're like, okay, what's true and what's not true?
That place is a lot of fun, I gotta say, especially coming from an engineering background, some of the tools that they use. Woo!
I felt like I was entering like a Saw film at parts.
A little bit.
They had a whole gynecology section. I'm like, not today, Satan.
No.
Like, no.
No.
They had a birthing chair. The birthing chair was probably that wide and that tall, and you're just supposed to sit there and they catch the baby.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was gnar.
It was.
I'm really glad I didn't accidentally touch the thing.
Oh my gosh. And we have some pictures. I actually have a slideshow of some pictures from the Pharmacy Museum, which is really cool. Hello, Skywatcher. Hey, Brian. Hey, H. Hemphill. So I have some pictures, and we're going to show those in just a little bit. So what's really, really kind of interesting about the Pharmacy Museum, this is the location of the first licensed pharmacist in the United States. His name is Dufilho, I believe.
DeFilo?
Dufilho, Difhilo.
Yeah, I think
Dufilho. Dufilho. So he's the first pharmacist to actually be considered licensed. So back in the day, prior to the Louisiana Purchase, you didn't have to be technically trained to sell stuff for medicine. You
just wake up and go,
I'm going to be a doctor today.
I'm going to be a doctor today. It's not unlike, A Million Ways to Die, or was it A Million Ways to Die in the West?
Yes.
The Seth MacFarlane film? Have you seen it?
I haven't seen that one.
Oh,
another
my gosh.
film on the list of movies Monty hasn't seen.
Okay, so the entire film is a Seth MacFarlane film. He apparently, if you were to take Seth MacFarlane, put him in the Wild West with all of the technology of the time, he's like, so imagine having that knowledge and being put in the Wild West at that time period where you're like, the doctor is using like birds to peck at your forehead to try to get rid of your headache because there's a demon stuck in there or something.
I just use a drill. And I go like right there so that you can't see it when I put the head.
We have pictures of a brain drill from the Pharmacy Museum. And they had butt plugs there, guys.
They did.
Rectal, what was it called? What was the word?
Like some kind of expansion.
Rectal expansion or something?
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. We'll see in a minute. I have pictures for that. So we're walking, they had what a leech's jar looked like. And they had the way that they stored prescriptions is in like a cylinder type of.
It was really
thing.
wild.
I have
It
a
was
picture
alright.
of that.
one of the
It's kinda
strangest
cool.
filing systems
It's a
I think I've
filing
ever
system.
seen.
It looks like the prescriptions were on discs of paper, and they just put it in spools.
All right.
Yeah, with a rope running through the middle.
It looks a little bit like shawarma.
All right. That makes
Like
sense.
a big meat of
Yeah.
shawarma,
Yeah.
which is pretty interesting. So that what's amazing about what happened with DeFilho, he studied in France, didn't he?
Yes. Yes, he was properly trained in France at a pharmaceutical college.
Mm-hmm.
It was the same college that both his brother and his father went to, so he was following in the family trade of heading off to France and getting a proper education in pharmacological studies. So he wasn't one of the hacks that you would see somewhere on a battlefield with a bone saw going, oh, stubbed your toe, cut off the foot. He was professionally trained in medicine.
Yes. And so what's really interesting is that there were no qualifications prior to DeFilho to practice medicine or to be a pharmacist or to sell medication, any of that.
Even to be a midwife.
Even to be a midwife.
Wow.
There was no training required whatsoever. And so it makes it really interesting. The governor at the time, he was a Spanish governor. A year after the Louisiana Purchase, they then required, if you had no formal training, you had to pass an oral exam. And it was apparently, I think it was like a 2 or 3 hour oral exam. And so DeFilho was the first one to actually pass that. Hello, German. I think is it German? My
German.
laptop is very far away, and so trying to read everything. Often the barber was a doctor. Yeah, that's probably not entirely untrue.
Yeah.
So what's really cool is that they were moving forward on, like, if you had no formal training in medicine and you couldn't prove that you had a diploma, they call it a diploma, they didn't even call it a degree. You had to have a diploma to show that you had medical training. You were going to be charged fines if you did not take this test.
Oh, wow.
And then they pushed for further legislation to try to make certain that people not only had passed this test but also had formal training. And if you couldn't produce that, then there was lots of fines involved.
Wow. All right. Seems a little more lax than now, but still, you know.
But it's funny because
You can forge papers.
we go back and we look at the snake oil traders, and we still have snake oil pushers now. We see them all over Goop. Like with the Gwyneth Paltrow side.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of crazy. Let's see. Barbara was the dentist. That's probably
Barbara was also the
case.
mechanic.
Yes. Oh, spirited science is much better than spirit science. Yes, I've heard about spirit science. Yeah, Hey,
Brian
Andrew.
is saying that we're having web issues.
Yeah, we might be. I'm on the Wi-Fi here, so that's probably part of the reason why we're having some kind of issues. And since there's a jamming wedding party going on outside, I don't know if you can hear the music. I hope not, because I really don't want a copyright strike from YouTube, because I have monetization now, guys.
Woo!
Yay! Oh my
Get
goodness.
that YouTube money.
Yeah, get all like $5 of it. Oh my goodness, the dental chair and the barber chair are nearly identical, probably. Hey guys, so
The obstetrics chair was not very much like a barber chair.
no, but listen. Okay, so the OBGYN chair essentially. Okay, so they had like what looked like an OBGYN chair, but it had a hole where your butt goes. It was like, here's this cushion part. Here's a cushion for your back. Here's a cushion for your lower back. Here's a metal slab with a hole in the middle, and then you put your feet here. And I'm like,
The thing that surprised me the most, and don't ask me why I know this, but the stirrups look the exact same as a modern chair.
Well, maybe that's still useful. The stirrups are quite useful.
Apparently that was engineered to perfection in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And then
Sometimes you just get things right the first time around.
Yeah,
Other things
yeah.
you just have to work at.
yeah, the cold slab with the hole in the middle did not seem appealing whatsoever. It's like you're like,
That's one of the things they had to work at. You know?
So it's pretty interesting. If you haven't been, if you're in, it's only $5 for admission into the Pharmacy Museum. So if you happen to be in New Orleans, it's totally worth the $5 just to go in and kind of see how medicine used to be done. Because you only needed 6 months of apprenticeship in order to be a pharmacist. And they just kind of threw stuff together. So we're having our drinks here called the Pharmacist. And the thing is, it kind of blended, but it normally is layered. So you start out with like coconut rum, and then you put some pineapple juice on the top, and then you put I used Patron orange liqueur. You top it with cranberry juice and sprinkle some bitters on the top, and it makes a really nice layered drink. It's a good idea to put ice in it, because sometimes the densities, we're talking about specific gravity here, we're learning things. So you put ice in it, it'll kind of keep your layers separate until you'll have a very layered drink, and it's really cool.
Awesome. What exactly are bitters? Like, I've never...
It comes in a really tiny little bottle, and they sometimes call it orange bitters.
All right.
It tastes a little bit like the peel of an orange.
All right, got it.
Okay.
Yeah. Brain drill is a way to flirt. Right. Brain drill is a way flirt time around, I guess. Did the steal drinks from the wedding party? My faith is... We didn't steal drinks from the wedding party.
We should have. I thought about it. I walked by all the wine.
Oh my goodness.
I could have just grabbed a bottle. They wouldn't have noticed.
Right.
They probably wouldn't notice. And it would be like, you know what? This is compensation for you guys jamming all night.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, we should get some compensation. You're enjoying a 15-year scotch.
I want to go drink with that dude.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
That sounds
Delicious.
nice.
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
15-year scotch.
Wow.
Huh. What was it aged in? That's also important. What kind of barrel?
That is very important.
You know, we
True.
have to know things. Hey, Vibrantly Brantley. So let's get, I guess, to the meat of things. So, a lot of the lore associated with a pharmacy museum is that they're playing Brick House right now, and it's really hard to sit still.
Well, they just finished Somebody's Watching Me. That's my jam right there.
It is hard not to just...
You know, it'd be really weird if somebody from the wedding party just showed up, y'all are being too loud.
Oh, no,
Can you tone it down?
Can y'all keep it down a bit in there? Only if you turn it up. You're a party.
You guys are talking too much. You're killing our buzz. Oh my goodness.
What's this learning? We came to drink. Woo!
Gosh. What is this? So there's a lot of folklore associated with the Pharmacy Museum. And so there's one thing, and we'll talk about that in just a bit, about DeFilho selling his pharmacy to Dr. Dupas, who supposedly was involved in human experimentation with pregnant African-American women slaves. Well, they were women. There aren't men who were pregnant ever.
Yes.
So we know that.
Unless you're a seahorse.
So, unless you're a seahorse. Yes.
I remember
So-
that.
Seahorse.
Call the cops on the wedding party.
I'm on it.
You
Who
know?
said that? Mr.
You're like-
United for Children. I'm calling right now.
There's some...
Come out and film me. Let's see if it goes viral. Yeah, they're making noise and I'm trying to sleep.
There are some white people who are
I know
being
it's only
disruptive.
6:30.
You know, I don't know if they actually are supposed to be here.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what they're doing. This group of people just flooded the place and started playing music.
You know. Right.
I think they might have gang affiliations.
They're all wearing the same suits.
One of them has a spiky mohawk. That scares me.
And it's purple.
Oh, I love you both. That's hilarious.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
We crack ourselves up. Oh man. going to put a slideshow on, I guess, a little bit of some of the images from the Pharmacy Museum. So let me get that going, and then we can talk about the things. And it came from a church, I'm sure. Oh my goodness. All right, so I'm going to move up really close so it looks like it's an album cover again.
There it is.
All right, so here we
There's
go.
the album cover.
Check out these pictures. All right, so this is the pharmacy entrance. And then we go here. This is inside the pharmacy where you see like actual like stuff and things where they would put together all of the different types of medication. Now this is the outside of the pharmacy where you can walk by. And again, it's only like $5 to actually go in and explore. Now, DeFilho's picture's on the left. And on the right, you see a soda fountain machine, which is pretty cool. It's got all kinds of different medicines and alcohols and stuff like that. Now, this is a description of all these really scary tools that we're about to see. Andy was particularly interested in the tonsil guillotine, which cuts off your tonsils from inside of your throat. And the top two things go down your throat for esophageal stuff. Now, that's the brain drill. Right there, that's the brain drill, where they drill in your head.
Which actually, it's really funny because that particular instrument has not
there's the
changed
butt plugs,
since
guys.
ancient Egypt.
That's butt plugs, rectal dilators. Nobody has butt plugs, they have rectal dilators. And there's a Cannabis picture.
Cannabis the rapper?
Cannabis, you can buy those for $15. Now, this was pretty cool. They have a book called The Great American Fraud that addresses phony people who sell things that they say cure different things. And I thought this graphic was pretty cool. Where they said a cure for cancer, a cure for heart problems. And so we still have this today with people selling woo. So I'm going to let these pictures kind of cycle back through one more time, and then we'll go back through. If you've not been, this is on, is it Chartres? Is that how you say it? Chartres, or is it Shots? Chartres.
I don't know. Is that a street?
Yes.
I don't know. Knowing that there's rectal dilators in there, I would go Charts.
The pronunciation of New Orleans street names is a difficult thing. You have to ask someone that lives close.
Okay.
Like, you got Burgundy. It's not Burgundy. It's Burgundy. Like things like Chapatulas, like write that down and let somebody read it and see if they can pronounce it.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna try.
I was gonna say patchouli, but that's not what that is.
No.
All right.
It starts with a T.
All right, so this is cycling back through some of the pictures that we took. So
charters. All right, I just saw it written down. Somebody typed it. Charters. Thank you. That's Tish.
Okay.
Thank you, Tish. Charters.
Charters. Okay. All right, so it's going back through some of the pictures. If you haven't checked out the Pharmacy Museum, charters. There's the brain drill. There's the rectal dilators. I wonder how many people we know have those.
Yeah, the trepanation drill. I'm kind of obsessed with those things because that started as a medical practice a good 5,000 years ago in ancient Egypt. People have been drilling holes into the skull to relieve pressure, and it's still a viable medical science used today. So
yes,
it's one of the longest standing medical practices that has